My whole life, all I've ever known of Iraq has been war.
My fellow citizens, at this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger.
Images like this.
We didn't find any weapons of mass destruction.
And this. And this. And this.
The battle against ISIS is still raging.
Flashed across my television screen every night.
A tragedy that cost the lives of hundreds of thousands of Iraqis.
And caused me to fear not just the country of Iraq, but the Iraqi people as well. The entire country, even just the word Iraq, became synonymous with war and violence.
These are opening stages of what will be a broad and concerted campaign.
But is there more to the story of Iraq? Perhaps a different narrative than what we have been led to believe. As a student of world history, in recent years I've come to learn that the Mesopotamia, often considered by historians to be the birthplace of writing, and with it recorded history and modern civilization as we know it, was in fact located in what is today Iraq. Unfortunately, however, as a result of Iraq's tumultuous recent history, much of this has been largely forgotten by the outside world. The ancient Mesopotamia, literally like the origins of human civilization, is mind-blowing. Like, I cannot believe I'm standing here seeing this. Yet, despite this turbulent history, many of the ancient sites for which Iraq should be known have persevered and still stand today. The Yazidi religion, for example, originating in the mountains of northern Iraq, is believed to be the world's oldest monotheistic faith, possibly dating as far back as 7,000 years ago. Some of the world's oldest Christian monasteries are located, in fact, in Iraq. I wanted to see for myself if the narrative we are fed in the media about Iraq is actually true. Well, this is not what I pictured, this is not what I expected, and it's definitely not the Iraq that I've heard my whole life on the news.
Welcome to Kurdistan.
They are now feeding me with snacks. There's a bond there. There's like a bond between human beings. And to uncover some of Iraq's spectacular ancient history, dating from the 2nd or 3rd millennium. So, come with me on a 4-part journey to discover a region of the world most people know little about. Yeah, just take a look at this. And before you look at this, I just want to also remind you that we are still in Iraq. A land not of terrorists and extremists, but of kind, welcoming, and hospitable people.
From where are you?
USA.
USA. Welcome to you. Welcome.
A place of breathtaking natural beauty and historical artifacts dating to the dawn of human civilization. And a land bursting with culture, art, and diversity. Welcome to Kurdistan. And so, this is how I found myself landing in the middle of the night at Erbil International Airport in the capital of Iraqi Kurdistan. Nothing quite like landing in Iraq in the middle of the night. Touching down in Iraq was a surreal experience.
For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the aircraft has completed.
Pleasure. Have a good night. Thank you so much.
As an American, Iraq was just never a place I'd ever thought to visit. I'm doing this pretty quickly, but I just landed in Erbil, Iraq, in northern Iraq. This is the capital of Iraqi Kurdistan. This is different than lower Iraq or federal Iraq, which I will get into later. But I have a taxi waiting for me here. He's gonna take me to my hotel. I'm doing this kind of quickly because they said that cameras outside of the airport, because of the military bases that are near here, is not exactly kosher. So I'm just gonna grab my taxi, pack up the camera, and head into Erbil. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You're welcome. Hello, hi. I'm just checking in. Wow, I'm looking pretty haggard after a 25-hour journey from Los Angeles. So this is my room in the city center of Erbil. I'm staying at a place called Erbil View Hotel. This room is like their basic options, costing me $59 US a night, which is pretty expensive, but there's not really many great budget options here in Erbil, to be honest. This is kind of like the mid-range option. There's tons of luxury hotels here. You can spend upwards of like $400 a night on a hotel room here. Like, it's crazy. So this is like a solid kind of like mid-range option. But yeah, it is currently 4:30 in the morning. Not a lot happening out on the streets right now. Let's see what kind of view I have out my room here. Gorgeous. Beautiful mosque right across the street, but it is 4:30 in the morning and I have been traveling for 25 hours and I am on no sleep. So I'm exhausted. I'm gonna hit the bed and I will see you guys in a couple hours when we get out to exploring Erbil. So let's start with a little geography to get you up to speed. As mentioned, I am in Kurdistan, specifically Iraqi Kurdistan, an autonomous region bordering Iran, Syria, and Turkey. Why do I need to make that distinction? Well, because Kurdistan is not just in Iraq. Kurdistan as a region stretches across 5 different countries: Iraq, Iran, Turkey, Syria, and a small portion of southern Armenia. This is the land of the Kurds, or Kurdish people, and they have been living in this part of the world for centuries, possibly millennia. Now, out of all of these 5 countries, Iraq is the only one that has granted any level of autonomy to the Kurds. Iraqi Kurdistan has been an autonomous region since 1991, when they were granted autonomy by the Saddam regime. And so Iraqi Kurdistan, although geographically part of Greater Iraq, operates fully as an independent or autonomous region. You see, I am in Erbil, capital of Iraqi Kurdistan. Now, the people who live here are known as the Kurds. An estimated 20 to 30 million Kurds live in this region, making them the largest ethnic group in the world without their own nation. As you might expect, there are some key differences between here in Iraqi Kurdistan and lower Iraq, or Iraq proper. They have their own parliament, they have their own flag, they have their own visa system, which is how I, as an American, am so easily able to travel to this part of Iraq. The other important distinction that you need to know is that, as I just mentioned, these people are Kurdish. They are not Arab, which is the predominant ethnic group that you find in lower Iraq. They speak Kurdish here, not Arabic, and they are primarily Sunni Muslim as opposed to Shia Muslim in lower Iraq. Kurdistan, however, is a very tolerant place, and you will also find Christians, Yazidis, and even Zoroastrians practicing their faiths in Kurdistan. You are probably wondering at this point whether it is safe to travel here. And it's not necessarily an easy question to answer. In a place like Iraq, things can happen at any time. It is somewhat of an uncertain part of the world. Yet, despite tension and uprisings in the recent past, particularly in the war against ISIS, it is overall a very safe place to travel these days. And before we go any further, full disclosure, I did not visit lower or federal Iraq. So my experience and views are solely based on my time in Kurdistan. Iraq proper will have to wait for another day, inshallah. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, for this episode, let's focus specifically on Erbil, the capital of not just Iraqi Kurdistan, but all of Kurdistan, and its amazing history. A city dating back to the Assyrians, it is rich in history and culture. But if we are going to tell the whole story of Erbil, then we cannot focus on her history alone. Erbil wears two hats, one part old, traditional, ancient, and another part new, modern, shimmering. But, truth be told, as a city, it exudes history at every turn. However, it is quickly modernizing into the 21st century. One only needs to walk a short distance away from the city center and main bazaar to find this. New construction, shiny new apartment buildings, and modern architecture that would rival Dubai. Believe me, the good stuff that I love so much, all that rich history, culture, spice bazaar, tea houses, it's all here, a true traditional Middle Eastern city. But these old ways are quickly learning to coexist with the new, shiny Erbil. For now, though, let's start with some of that good stuff. The history, the culture. And there really is no better place to start off talking about the history of Erbil than at the Citadel, a 7,000-year-old fortress overlooking the entire city.
Dating from the 2nd or 3rd millennium BC, the Erbil Citadel actually sits atop a 26 to 28 meter high mound, or a tell, which is essentially a mound that has been built up over the millennia. And up until 2006, believe it or not, this interior area of the Citadel was actually residential, with up to, I believe, 600 homes inside the Citadel where people were living and going about their daily life. Today, it is uninhabited, and it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site as of 2014. It's presently undergoing restoration and rehabilitation, and it's a popular spot for tourists, both international as well as Iraqi, coming from the south to visit.
Although no families reside within the Citadel any longer, you can still find some interesting places to visit. The Kurdish Textile Museum, for instance, housing handmade works from around all of Kurdistan, not just in Iraq. And arguably the best view of Erbil is from atop the Citadel Mound.
But the real treat is to just walk around and look at this beautiful structure, knowing that you are presently walking and standing at a site that was once occupied by the ancient Mesopotamians.
If there is one other place that really tells the story of Erbil's history, then it has to be the Grand Bazaar, otherwise known as Kesari Bazaar, the beating heart and true soul of Erbil. Built in the 13th century CE, it is an extensive labyrinth of covered alleyways, and it is always a hive of activity, day and night.
So this is Kesari Bazaar. And in this part of the world, Kesari is a general term that's used to just mean basically like a covered bazaar. You hear that term in Iraq, Iran, and so this is the Kesari Bazaar of Erbil, which is a large, sprawling, covered bazaar here right in the center of town, actually, right at the base of the citadel. This bazaar goes back, I believe, to the 13th century. So people have been working here, trading here, and buying here since the 13th century. There really is nothing like exploring a bazaar in the Middle East. And one of the reasons is because of the variety of spices and dried goods that you find in these markets. And so behind me here is like a big stand of dried fruits, nuts, and all kinds of candies. And it's very, very common in this market and in bazaars in this part of the world to see stands just like this one, selling any number of dried items, dried fruits, candies, and they're super, super popular. And this market is no exception.
Its alleyways are lined with spice shops, merchants, sweets, and tea shops. And there is one very specific tea shop I am looking for today.
Hi, good to see you again. Anywhere? Chai with sugar? Yeah, chai with sugar, yeah.
Mam Khalil Tea House is a historic tea house located within Kesari Bazaar, and it has been in continuous operation since 1953. It's the kind of place where one cup of tea is just never enough.
Okay, so I am at Mam Khalil Tea House. This is a small tea house that's located it's inside the bazaar, dating back to, I think, 1953. Yeah, 1953. It's been open continuously. And so obviously the special here is tea or chai, which is what you can get all over Erbil. But what's cool about this place is just how much history is here, which admittedly I don't know off the top of my head, but when you just look around and you see all of these photos of all of these supposedly, I'm assuming, famous people who have been here, you can kind of just feel like how much history there is in this tiny little tea shop. But yeah, so what did I get? Obviously chai, and the way they serve chai here is in these very interesting shaped glasses, and on the bottom you can see how much sugar there is in this thing. Let me see if I can get a close-up here for you guys. Yeah, see, that is, they serve it with a healthy dose of sugar on the bottom, and it wakes you up. It's a really strong cup of black tea, and I'm a coffee drinker myself, but in these parts of the world, I typically find myself drinking tea because A, it's so good, and it's what everyone else is drinking. The locals are gonna drink tea. Very few people drink coffee here. Very good, very strong, and this is a place where you can just come and sit for hours and just drink and drink and drink. Smoking is allowed. Smoke-filled shop. It's it kind of takes you back in time in a way.
There's no.
Yeah. Okay. Say hi.
Hi.
And you could easily sit here and while the afternoon away, drinking cup after cup of strong, amazing dark black tea, thinking what it must have been like to walk through the alleyways of this bazaar in the Middle Ages, trading and drinking tea in an environment that is perhaps not much different from the one in which it exists today.
على المطار قالوا طول ولا بتغير ولا بيتحول على صنع معلم مدينة بالبلوك شغل الشام على راسه
Wait a minute.
There you go. You look good. See, you
I'm
can
good.
see.
I'm good. Yes. How are you?
Good.
Welcome to Kurdistan.
Thank you.
How is the situation here in Kurdistan? You like it?
I do. Yeah. It's only my second day.
Ah, for real.
Yeah.
How about people?
Huh?
How is the people?
Very friendly.
Thank
Very,
you.
very friendly.
You're welcome.
I told you earlier, everyone is so friendly. You literally can't walk around without people saying, welcome to Kurdistan. Like everyone, it's happened so much that it's like, I don't even know what to say anymore. People are just like, I'm just stopping and filming and I hear in the background, welcome to Kurdistan, welcome to Kurdistan. Like it's nonstop. Friendliest people I've met in all of my 41 countries that I've been to, easily. You will notice probably immediately when you get to Kurdistan is the number of men or males that you'll see here just fiddling with these beads in their hands. And at first I thought it was like a religious thing, but it's actually, I think it's part religious, also part just like recreational and cultural. And they sell them everywhere and they can be anywhere from like a couple dollars on the cheap end, which is probably what these are, up to like handmade beads that are wooden and polished stones that are hundreds of dollars US. This is a common thing that happens in Kurdistan is I take pictures and videos and then everyone wants their picture taken. So I just met these three guys and took their pictures and now I'm trying to send them on. Do you have YouTube or Instagram?
Yes.
Can you show me? Yeah, but I will send. Yeah. Okay, guys. See you. Nice to meet you. Okay. Bye-bye, guys.
I love you. I love you.
Take care. Thank you. See you. That's Kurdish hospitality. All right, let me show you the scene here. This is downtown Erbil. Here's the bazaar that we were in earlier today. And then the citadel is all right there. And it's a Friday, so it's the holy day and it's coming on evening now. So this place is really, really busy. But yeah, that's a very common occurrence that happens in Kurdistan is whenever I get the camera out to take videos and stuff, people always want their photos taken. It's really amazing. I can't tell you how many photos I have, like portraits on my phone basically from like just the 2 days that I've been here, how many people want their photos taken. I just sat down for a chai at this very, very famous tea shop here in downtown Erbil. But this is like a super famous tea shop in Erbil, even more famous than the one I was in earlier today, which is like really famous. But what's nice about this one is you can sit outside on the square here and you get views of the bazaar and all the cars coming by. And the main park, which is over there, which I haven't really shown you because it's closed for renovations at the moment. There's like normally water fountains and stuff that are on, but it's all closed off at the moment. But that's what's really nice about this cafe is you can just sit and people watch, and yeah, it's really nice. This is like my fourth chai today. Every time you stop, it's expected that you're gonna like have tea. The other thing too is like when you eat here and you go out to a restaurant, they automatically bring you chai at the end of your meal, unless you tell them not to. And usually it's included, it's usually not an extra charge. So yeah, I've had quite a few chais today. This place is honestly blowing my mind. I've been just like continuously mind blown since I got off the plane, to be quite honest. Like Erbil has been easily one of my top favorite travel destinations I've been to yet, and I'm just starting my trip in Kurdistan. I still have so much more to see. But I mean, like, this is not what I had in mind. You know, coming from America and growing up in the 2000s, and all you hear about Iraq is war and violence and terrorism. And then like I come here and it's just nothing but friendly people and scenes like this where everyone is just out and having fun, enjoying themselves like it's any other place in the world. I'm not here to proselytize or get political at all, but it's just not really the image that I've had in my mind, that's been put in my mind by the media for the last 20 years of my life, to put it bluntly. It's just awesome. There's nothing better than traveling to a place and having your preconceived expectations just shattered completely. It's the greatest feeling in the world.
افتح وجهنا ابو شيماء. علي very good علي.
Thank you. There's multiple cameramen.
Can you photo here?
Yeah. Okay. So that tea was 500, which is like, I don't know, 50 cents or something. It's very, very inexpensive. 500 dinar. That's the currency. Even though this is Kurdistan and it's an autonomous region, they still use the same currency as Lower Iraq or Federal Iraq, which is the Iraqi dinar. And currently the exchange rate is very favorable if you're coming with US dollars. It's like $1 is about 1,400 Iraqi dinar if you exchange it on the street, which you should. You should plan to bring cash here because many ATMs don't take international cards, and you'll spend a lot of time just trying to find an ATM outside of this bazaar everywhere.
Hello, good.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Hi.
Like outside of the bazaar everywhere are money changers on the street, and you'll get a better exchange rate anyway. Like if you get it from an ATM, it'll be like 130,000. So it's just better to bring cash here and exchange it on the street. It's very easy, and you get a better deal. Anyway. This is the main park area that I was talking about. And normally there's like fountains all in here, but it's closed for renovation right now, so none of them are on, and that's why no one is like hanging out in the park. Hello. Figs, wow, everything.
Oh, هات حبة لوز، هات حبة لوز. هات.
What's it called?
لقي هات ورا. كم.
Okay. Very good. Very good. I'm literally being fed. Thank you. Very good. Thank you, guys. See you. That guy literally fed me his nuts. Wow, really busy. Lots happening. Yeah, see, here's the fountains that are all dried up. Another very common thing is shisha here in Kurdistan. You see people smoking shisha all the time on the street, in cafes. It's like super, super common. And it actually smells quite nice. You get these like aromas of like fruit and stuff as you're walking around, and it's like the shisha smoke. It's really quite nice. What flavor? What flavor? Shisha. Shisha. Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys. I don't think they understood me. There's not a lot of English here. I will say that. There's not much English in Kurdistan. I don't know any Kurdish. I know one word, spas. Thank you. I think those are fava beans. Obviously corn, watermelon, lots of watermelon in this part of the world. I actually think this is where it came from. Hello. Because, yeah, remember, like I said earlier, this is not just Mesopotamia, this is also the Fertile Crescent, right? So this is also where, like, the earliest traces of, like, human civilization started 10,000 years ago at the end of the last ice age. You saw people like developing like farming and agriculture and stuff, and so like tomatoes, cucumbers, melons, it's been here for like 12,000 years. And so as you can hopefully tell, Erbil is this, you know, vibrant metropolis that in all honesty feels quite safe. I feel incredibly safe here. Everyone has been like super welcoming and very, very nice and very, very friendly. You know, I feel a lot safer here, to be honest, than I would in most United States cities. Like in San Francisco, for example. Whoa, there's a huge flash of lightning over there. In San Francisco, for example, I would never take this camera out and like vlog with it. No way. Or like Los Angeles, for example, I just wouldn't do it. But here, I don't feel anything. I feel completely fine. Like I said, everyone's been really nice, very welcoming, and I feel, yeah, very humbled as a tourist to be traveling here. But yeah, I am going to end this one for the night here, guys. It's dark now, as you can tell, and I guess the thunderstorm's coming in, so I'm going to head back to my hotel. It's been a long day, but a really great day. So I'm going to end this one here, and I will see you guys in the next vlog from a new place in Iraqi Kurdistan. Have a good night, guys. Bye.